up? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with another what to buy on eBay video. Mostly buy it now situations. I think I've got maybe one auction, but I wanted to talk more about that. Before I begin any further, I want to say thank you to my latest Patreon supporter, Joe Rice. He just became a member of the Patreon support team for this channel, and I want to say thanks again. He also recently bought that yak face that was graded CAS 90 that is on the way to you, Joe. Thanks again for buying that. You are helping me out quite a bit. And for those of you interested in becoming Patreon supporters for the channel, it's patreon.com/actionfiguregrader. It really does help out the channel. So thanks to everybody who contributes. I got a nice list of items here, mainly vintage collection this time. But I also included some CGC graded comics, as well as some vintage Kenner stuff. So I want to go ahead and dig right in. This is the rocket firing mail away vintage collection VCP03 Fett, rocket firing Boba Fett. And this one's in pretty good shape. It's not perfect. It's not perfect. So keep that in mind when you're looking at it. Make sure for all of these items that you take a close look at all the different photos, and that you verify that the buyer, or excuse me, that the seller is not some crazy person or a fake seller. I'm just going on what I find online. I have not vetted any of these in detail, but I found some pretty good deals, I think, and this is one of them. This is only listed for 169 Canadian or $132 US plus shipping, so it works out to about 150 bucks, which is not bad. And this is probably, like, I would call it 85 condition, maybe 85 plus if you straighten out that card back a little bit. But it's unpunched. It's got a little bit of wave to the card, but again, if you put it in a star case or a case shell, it'll probably straighten the card out. And I also want to mention this. As you guys are aware, Tom Hogan, who's a supporter of the channel, he has a company called Case Shells where they're similar to like star cases, and they are great for storing and protecting your standard size action figures. He just let me know that he does have a new batch that has just arrived from manufacturing. So in the video description for this video, I have Tom's email address, which is caseshells@yahoo.com, in case you wanted to order some from him. They're great star cases, and they lock in place, and they do a great job. So he did let me know that those are back in stock, and that they are. He's also going to be getting some of those sliding acrylic cases here in the next 2 weeks. But anyway, going back to this VCP03, I think this is a pretty good deal. 132 bucks plus shipping is a pretty nice deal, and I think that card was straightened out with a couple of weeks inside of a case shell. All right, now here I believe is the only item that I have at auction, and that's Star Wars Dr. Aphra number 19. This is the Sprouse 50th anniversary variant. And what's important about this book is that this is the first comic book cover appearance of Bo-Katan from The Mandalorian. It's a great cover, and these Sprouse variant covers don't particularly do that great, but it is going to go down as the first comic book cover appearance of Bo-Katan. And the last one that sold at auction sold for like 35 bucks. And this one's at auction. There's 4 days and 7 hours left, and right now it's at 99 cents. And it's $15 shipping. If you can pick this up for 35 to 50 bucks, I think that is a great deal, because this exact same 50th anniversary Sprouse cover for The Mandalorian sells for between $125 and about $135 in a CGC 9.8. So to get Bo-Katan's first comic book cover appearance ever, I think that's a great deal. And it's not like this is a bad cover. I mean, this is a fantastic cover. I've got a number of these at the presser right now. But they have not really gone up in value that much. And so if you can get one for, at auction like it is now, like I said, the last one sold for like $32 or something really ridiculous, which is barely covering your shipping costs to and from CGC plus the grading costs. I mean, that is a fantastic deal. And it's just nice to have one in your collection, because there are rumors that Bo-Katan is going to be getting her own show on Disney. And if that happens, her kind of appeal to the mainstream audience is gonna pick up. It may not ever get to the Mandalorian level, but she certainly already is a popular character within Star Wars collector, the Star Wars collecting community. But if she in fact gets her own show, I think that this book will go down as a pretty good pickup for 35 to 50 bucks. It's a pretty low risk proposition in my mind, and probably worth picking up. So keep an eye out for another auction, but this one does end in 4 days and 7 hours. Next up, I've got a vintage collection item. VC85, but this is the Canadian card back for Quinlan Voss. Here it is. It's unpunched. Really pretty nice example. It's got a little bit of edge wear in the upper left-hand corner, but overall, probably like 85 to 85 plus condition. And it's a Canadian card back. And as we've talked about in many videos, the Canadian card backs for the vintage collection were produced one for every 10 US cards. And to get the Canadian version unpunched for $89.99 plus $8.99 shipping, I think that's a good buy. That's a pretty good buy. If I was looking to buy some TVC 1.0 right now, I would pick this up. So look for that one, because I think that's a pretty good deal. Next up, we've got a graded vintage collection item. It's an uncirculated 9.0 Cloud Car Pilot. It is, of course, punched, and I don't know if I've ever seen an unpunched example, but this has got the free Boba Fett offer sticker, and, you know, this is a very early TVC, VC11, and it's $199.99 plus $16 shipping, and I think that's a pretty good buy. That's a pretty good buy for a really nice high-grade uncirculated AFA 9.0 Cloud Car Pilot on the Vintage Collection VC11 card back. I'm not sure if this is a great deal, but it's a really tough to find variant. It doesn't come up that much. This is an AFA 80, and it's got the new case style, and this is the Smooth Cape No COO Jawa. And so these Smooth Cape Jawas were kind of, I think they were produced over in Europe. They typically were shown on Palatoy card backs. You might find them on Kenner card backs like Return of the Jedi card backs, but my gut says that most of these were either produced in China or they were produced over in Europe for the Palatoy card backs. And it's a pretty nice high grade. It's $200 with $9.45 shipping. Maybe you watch it and he gets you he gives you an offer, but that's not that far off of market value, in my opinion, for a nice high grade Jawa in a brand new case. This is an older style case, but this is an AFA 85 squid head. Pretty nice example. There are already 7 watchers on this one. And this one is the Hong Kong. So, you know, if you can live with the older style cases, $168.99 plus free shipping. There's already 7 watchers right now. I think that's a pretty good buy. I'd pay that. Maybe you watch these. Some of these you can watch them just for a day or two, and then oftentimes the seller will send you a deal or send you a discount. So that's probably worth watching if you're looking for a loose graded squid head in high grade. Here's Mace Windu #1. But what's cool about this one is that this is the animation edition, and I love this cover. This is a fantastic kind of Clone Wars-esque cover. It's CGC 9.8. It's right now it's listed for $120 plus $11 shipping, and I did receive an offer for $99.99. So that's a pretty good price, because this is listed within Key Collector Comics as the first appearance of Prosset Dibbs, who later becomes the 10th brother. And the 10th brother obviously is one of the members of the Inquisitorius. Obviously, later this week, we've got the Obi-Wan series coming out. I think this is a pretty good, cheap speculation play. There's not a ton of these on the census right now. I didn't look up the exact number, but I can guarantee you this is not a big number because this is the variant edition, a little bit tougher to find than the standard Mace Windu #1. This came out in 2017, but look at that great cover. I'm so tempted to buy that, but I'm not going to do it this time. I did do it for the TIE Fighter #1 because I looked it up on the census. TIE Fighter #1 was in the last what to buy on eBay video. I looked it up on the census, and there's 4 of them. So when I saw that, and there's 6 first appearances, and it's for a novel trilogy by Alexander Freed that I absolutely adored. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger on that one, but I promise you I won't pull the trigger on this one, even though I want to. But I think this is a pretty good buy right now, especially if you watch it and he gives you that same offer. Again, I got that offer for $99.99 plus $11.20 shipping. I think that's a pretty good buy for the first appearance of a character who later becomes a member of the Inquisitorius. Next up, we've got an unpunched Qui-Gon Jinn. 3 people just watched this since it got listed in the last 24 hours. It's $69.91 plus $9.45 shipping. And this is one of those sellers that typically does pretty nice, high-quality TVC. Beautiful, beautiful example. And there's heavy rumors that Qui-Gon Jinn is going to be appearing again within the Obi-Wan series in terms of flashback scenes. Whether that happens or not, we'll see, but that's what the rumors are. And this one does have the Darth Maul sticker, but this is the U.S. card back. I think this is a good buy. VC75, $70 plus $9.45 shipping for a beautiful unpunched Qui-Gon Jinn. Yes, please. I would definitely buy that. And there's, like I said, there's already 3 watchers on that one. Next up, in a brand new case style, this is an AFA 85 molded face Klaatu with the thick fur skirt. This is listed for $180 on free shipping. Again, this might be another one that you might want to watch, and maybe he gives you an offer for 150 or 160 bucks. But I don't think that's too far off of market for the molded face thick fur Hong Kong Klaatu. Next up, we've got an uncirculated 9.0 Rebel Commando in the vintage collection. Really nice example there. And as we've talked about recently in a lot of my vintage collection market updates, the Rebel Commando, both the white version and the black skin version, are moving up in price. We're seeing those very regularly sell for over $100, $125. This one right now is listed for $199.99. There's only one watcher. There is $16.10 for shipping, and it is make an offer though. So you could make an offer. Maybe you pick that up for 150 to 175 bucks, but that's not a terrible deal for an unpunched, uncirculated 9.0 grade gold level AFA Rebel Commando. This is another book that I've talked about, and this is a bare bottom price for it. This is High Republic number 12. This is the Macone variant. This is the first cameo appearance of the Leveler. Within the High Republic universe, the Leveler has a major, major role within the novels. It's like a force-sensitive monster that can suck the life out of the Jedi within the High Republic universe, and it kills a bunch of different Jedi within the books. And his first cameo appearance is in this book, High Republic number 12. This is a great cover that shows Avar Kriss fighting Lorna D, one of the Nihil. It's just an awesome book. I would buy this myself if I hadn't already pre-ordered it for about the same price. It's $54.99 with $16 shipping. That's a pretty low-risk proposition in my mind. And I think that once the High Republic universe comes to Disney Plus content, we are going to see the Leveler at some point. The Leveler it's a big, big monster that is important. And to get it for, let's call it 70 bucks, that's kind of a no-risk, low-risk, a no-brainer, low-risk proposition for the Leveler's first cameo appearance. So I would pick that book up. Next up, we got a pretty decent deal. It's not a great deal, but it's a decent deal on a beautiful unpunched Star Killer. This is the U.S. card back. It's got the Darth Maul offer sticker, as most of them do, but just slightest bit of edge wear. It does have kind of like a sticker from the store on the back, so it's got you can see a little bit of edge wear on there. Right now, it's listed for $220. But it's make an offer, and there's already 5 watchers on this one. It is $550 shipping. If you can make an offer for, let's say, $190, I'd probably do it. It's been selling kind of lower lately, as we just talked about in my last market update for the vintage collection. The last few have sold in that 185 to 200 range, but $220 unpunched U.S. card back plus it's make an offer. It's probably worth making an offer in that 180 to 190 range and see what happens. Next up, again, this is an older case style, but it is an AFA 85 Forlom / Zuckuss. I think there's a good chance that Forlom makes an appearance along with Zuckuss, or Forlom is making his appearance in the Obi-Wan series along with hopefully Zuckuss. But this one is got 17 watchers already. It's free shipping. It's listed for 190 bucks. It's not too far off market value, even though it is an older case style. I would consider that one, and maybe you watch that one and see what happens. But that's not a bad price. This is also a fantastic price. It's already got 3 watchers, including me. Solo adaptation number 1. This is the first appearance of Kira in comics, along with Dryden Voss, and it's also the first appearance of the young Lando in comics. It's a CGC 9.8. There's not many of these on the census, less than like 75, I believe, last time I checked. It's listed for $265 with $16.10 shipping, but it's make an offer. And as a reference point, in an auction, I paid $258 for mine. I think this is going to sell pretty quickly. And if you don't have this book, I would probably pick it up, because there's been rumors off and on that Kira is going to have her own show at some point. And obviously, she made her reappearance within the Crimson Reign comic book series within the Marvel comic run here recently. So I think this is a good book to have. And even if it doesn't go anywhere, at least you got a really nice comic related to the Solo adaptation. It's a fantastic cover. I think that's a no-brainer buy, even at the list price, but it is make an offer. Finally, I wanted to show this one. It's already got 6 watchers, and we just documented in my Vintage Collection market update a 9.0 graded Sand Trooper with the Sand apps that sold for close to $500. This is an 8.5, so admittedly it is a lower grade, but this one does have the kind of the sand apps, sand paint apps on the Sand Trooper, and it's also a true unpunched card back. And this one's listed for $289.99, free shipping. Again, it's already got 6 watchers. I expect this one to sell pretty quickly. I don't think that's a terrible deal. You know, maybe you watch it and it makes you an offer for $250, $260, but I bet this thing sells because this is one figure that is definitely jumping up in price here recently and continues to go up. So to get a nice 8.5 graded AFA example for the Sand Trooper, the dirty Sand Trooper, I think that's a pretty good buy. That's all I really had. I hope you liked looking at all these different items that are on eBay right now for sale. Hopefully you found some good items that you're willing to spend some money on. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon.